Crushing Brevard. Today we got Sydney Marts. Sydney's a good friend of ours.
Hello.
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 We know Sydney just from around town and met her, and she's a great girl, and so we just want to have her over. And so thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Steve. Thank you.
So I heard you're from Oregon. I did not know that before.
Yes, originally from Oregon.
So give us a little background on how an Oregon girl ends up in Melbourne, Florida.
Well, let's just say Oregon girl didn't want to be stuck up in the snow anymore. So I came down here about junior year of high school and been here about 8 years now going. And I guess you could say I just started loving it. It was a mountain girl turned into a beach girl kind of thing, honestly. And something always brings me back here to Melbourne, and I love it here. And so right now I'm living over on the beach side and just living the beach life world, you know.
There you go.
And I do miss Oregon, though, that's for sure.
Okay. Now, what did you like to do up in Oregon that you don't do here? Like hiking, obviously. Because there are no hills.
Yeah.
There are literally none.
Playing in the snow, honestly, going snowmobiling, skiing, snowboarding, sledding.
Okay, so you're outdoorsy all around. So
Definitely.
I know you as an outdoorsy person here, but even when it's
up in like 5,000 foot elevation, it's still outdoorsy.
You still like for outdoor plays. Okay.
Definitely.
Okay, nice. I'm from Minnesota, so I hear you on the snow thing and get away from that.
Oh yeah, I was tired of shoveling.
You don't have to shovel heat. That's what we say down here.
Just got to get into the AC.
Nice. Now Sydney works for Freedom Boat Club, as you can probably tell. Either she's a big fan or she works for them.
You can tell.
There you go. Yeah. Up in Merritt Island, right?
No, so I'm in Melbourne, up Wickham Road, but Merritt Island is Marker 24, and that's one of our newest locations. And as you saw, it's one of our most beautiful locations. Got a great bar and great staff, great little harbor right there. You can get gas as well, some bait as well if you're going offshore. But great little restaurant. Love that place.
So just a little short of which causeway was that?
520?
Yeah, just a little short of 520
so
going
if
south.
You're going north, if you're going south.
If you're going south, you're going to pass 520 and then it's off of Merritt Island.
Off on the west side there.
East side.
West.
Talk back residential.
So
it's the west side of the river.
Well, I guess if you're going south,
either way.
Yeah.
It's on the trust me on this one. It's on the west side of the river. It's you're there.
You're looking on a map,
looking across the river, and then you're out in the ocean.
Yes.
So
to the east is the ocean. To the west is the land. Yeah.
Exactly. But that bar is amazing. We did not eat there.
No, you guys
probably
didn't.
Should have. Because it looked good.
I recommend it. I recommend the Catch of the Day tacos or the shrimp tacos.
Catch of the Day tacos?
Yes.
Do they just rotate through fish?
They have their own captain that goes out every morning and catches fresh fish every day for the restaurant.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I would recommend that.
Does he have to fish until he finds like one of 5 things, or does he just whatever he catches, like, we'll make tacos out of that?
Whatever he catches, he'll go out to certain spots where there's mahi or tuna or grouper. There's certain spots for certain fish,
Okay.
So depends on where he wants to go that day, I guess.
But everybody here can highly recommend Marker 24. It is beautiful.
Yes. Definitely.
It's in like a little neighborhood too, which is nice.
Yeah, you can call it that. Yeah, the little finger on. Yeah.
So
it looks brand new.
Last year is when they first opened it. Yeah,
brand spanking new. So it's worth the drive if you want to head up there and take a look around.
Definitely.
And plenty of parking, which is clutch.
Right, that helps too.
Definitely, it gets busy on the weekends.
Yeah, because I just went to the Blue Beach Bar. We love that place, but man, parking is not easy. So so. The Freedom Boat Club.
Yes.
So talk a little bit about that. I have a little experience up in Minnesota that I'll go through. But you talk a little about the Freedom Boat Club because it's such a great idea and so much fun for people who like to boat but don't want to
break out another 1,000, which is what boat stands for. Yeah.
They don't want to. They don't assume a lot of risk. So go ahead. Tell us about that.
My club, my franchise, we have about 10 locations across the Space Coast, across the Treasure Coast. We have also one out in Lake Toho, but just along here on the Space Coast, we have about 10 locations. And the great part about it is that you can just go out on the boat and take all your family, friends, however many you can take out there. There's a limit on the boats, but as soon as you come back in, all you gotta do is take your gear off of it and go to the bar, go to a restaurant, have some fun. We're gonna take care of it. We're gonna clean the boat, make sure everything's good with the gas up the boat. All you have to do is worry about the gas. And so I think it's the best way to go out boats if you're not too familiar with them, or if you just don't want to deal with all that high maintenance, you know?
Right.
But we have 350 plus locations though across the United States. Like,
okay.
Yeah, like you said, you had experience up in Minnesota.
Yeah. But it wasn't Freedom Boat Club. It was a different boat club. But okay. Boat club experience.
Yeah. So Freedom, though, has 350 plus locations across the United States. And then we have some in UK, Spain, and Italy.
All right. So if somebody joined Freedom Boat Club and they went to Spain, they could
potentially, they could reserve a boat out there if they're
awesome.
If their locations out there have boats available when they're out there. They could be like, hey, I'm coming out here these dates. Please reserve this boat. I want this boat this dates. And
yeah, so I'll give you my 30 seconds, which will probably be 2 minutes of boat club stuff. We joined a boat club. Our friend had been in, and he's like, "Oh, it's amazing." I'm like, "Okay." We joined. It costs less than you would think for the quality of boat that you get. You get brand new boats, right? They're not torn up. They're not
exactly. Yeah.
There's nothing. They're brand new.
You can smell the newness coming off of it. Yeah.
That Harris pontoon we went on. We'll go over our little trip too. That Harris pontoon we went on. It was amazing. And you show up at the place. It's gassed up. It's pointing in the right direction. It's ready to go. They sign you in. They untie you. They kick you out. Mm-hmm. You start it up. You go. Yeah. And as long as you get close to the dock on the way back, I mean, you do whatever you want to.
Yeah.
You know, and we took pontoons most of the time because they're easy. Yeah. And if you want to stop at a beach, I mean, you can pull that up into a beach easy. And you got tons of space. Yeah. You get lots of people on it. Yeah. So that's what you were talking about, the person limit. You know, like it depends on the size of the boat, right?
Depends on the size of the boat,
you have 10, 12 person pontoons.
Yeah, some of them, we have 13 even.
Yeah, the speed boats are probably a little less.
They're about 9.
Yeah,
9 or 10 is the max if you have the 24-foot cobias.
But if you have that many friends, I mean, really?
Exactly. I felt like with our experience, I felt like 6 was enough.
Perfect,
well, 7 including me, but 6 passengers, I thought it was enough because I have my own little captain space, you know? Yeah. But 6, everybody else moving around, you guys seemed able to move around a little bit pretty easily.
It was fantastic. Yeah. And the river out here is just, I had no idea. Like, I came from a place where the river got down to like 35 feet deep, right? Okay. And so if you jumped out, you didn't know where you were because and there were clamshells on the bottom. You could cut your feet. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff where you were like, all right, I got to pay attention to what's going on here. Here, you just like pull over anywhere. It's like 6 feet deep or 3 feet deep, or and if you're in a pontoon, what is that?
Oh, you got a
3-foot
draw, 2-foot, 3-foot draw.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, that's perfect. Yeah, it was great. But yeah, you hop in the boat, you use it all day. Yeah, you bring it back.
You don't have to clean it. Don't have to run the engine through with fresh water or anything like that. Right, we do all that. We check all the all the oil because the dock masters do check the oil and run salt off through the motors because here we have the salt brackish water, so it's salt and fresh water. So we got to make sure those engines stay salt free, or else everything's just gonna start corroding up and seizing up, and we don't want that to happen because they're brand new boats, like you were saying. They don't have old boats; they have brand new boats.
Our buddy had a boat, and it was a beautiful boat. It was like 34 feet long. It was a big boat. It was a
that's a big
boat.
One.
Like 250s on the back of it, I think 300s. Okay. So it was a big boat.
Twin.
But you'd get down there and you'd be like, oh yeah, I gotta run the fan for this long, and I gotta plug all this stuff in. I gotta do this and that, and the cover, and the blah 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 blah. And I mean, what he paid for the boat, you could have joined the boat club for 11 years. I mean,
pretty much, and in the same amount of money. Yeah. I
mean, it's equivalent money. Like, 9% of what it costs to buy a boat. You get to just use a boat whenever you want to. And you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to pull it in and pull it out. Yeah. You don't have to have a trailer.
Or pay for parts when they break,
It's not a fix or repair daily kind of thing.
Because you probably weren't even factoring in the parts, though. Because things break and they get expensive. They add up, you know? And so if you don't know how to do it yourself, either you're paying for a shop to do it, so you're just adding on top. That's why they always say BOAT, break out another 1,000.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but, the boat club was an amazing experience for us, and that concept is just awesome for people that, like me, that wouldn't want to deal with any of that crap.
Yeah.
You just kind of, you go and you pay the money and then you're done, and then you throw the people on the dock $20 when you get done, and I mean, maybe more. I mean, if it's you, it'd be more. But, yeah.
Certain people,
But yeah, you throw them a little bit of money because it's they're performing a service.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah. But it's amazing, and the people are friendly. The people are they're very helpful. If you don't know how to drive a boat, you have you have orientation classes.
Oh yeah, we have our captains that teach you how to drive and make sure you feel safe out on the water.
Yeah, frankly, it's a pontoon. You can't really screw it up too bad.
Well, you'd be surprised. I had to.
Well, can I
Go ahead.
I've been talking a lot. I apologize. But can I tell a story?
Yeah, go ahead.
Our first time out with the boat club, we go. We in this bay. We anchor. We have a little snack, a couple drinks. We go to pull the anchor out. Cannot get the anchor onto the boat.
Yeah. It was stuck. It was stuck.
Yeah, it was stuck. And so I'm like, well, let's go out but the boat would move.
Okay.
So I'm like, oh,
so it's dragging.
Yeah. So I'm like, well, let's just go into deeper water, and maybe whatever it is, well, we can figure it out there. We got into deeper water. I almost lost the anchor.
Oh gosh.
Like I'm the last 2 feet of rope, and I'm like finally tied off. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
We're driving back to the dock, and there's a freaking telephone pole wrapped around the anchor.
When you pulled it up, you mean?
No, like as I'm driving.
Oh, you could see it.
You can see the telephone pole behind us.
Oh no.
Yeah, and we get back, and the guy's like, "How'd it go for your first time?" I'm like, "Well, minor hiccup. There's a telephone pole attached to the anchor." He, of course, jumps behind and looks at the engine.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not stupid. If it was anywhere near the engine, I wouldn't have done it.
Would have drove all the way back. Yeah.
But it's just kind of. But if that's your boat, that's your problem.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so
you don't have anybody coming out to help you other than CETO, and CETO is a lot of money when you call them.
Oh yeah.
If you don't have a membership through them, it's a lot of money.
Yeah. So that's a good question. So is there like AAA for boats?
So that's what it is. Yeah, that's what CETO is. Yeah.
Okay.
I can't tell you the exact numbers, but they charge by hour or by hour and by mile. When depending on how far they have to go out to get you, they're charging you by those miles and how many hours it takes to get. Well, because they're using gas too. Yeah. So and they're gonna have to tow it all the way back. Yep. And at Boathouse, I used to work at Boathouse on US 1, and they would sell the CETO packages. It was like maybe like $300 and something, but it would pay for the whole year. So if, just in case something happens, you had that CETO. Because if you just be like, hey, come out and get me, they're going to charge you way more than that $300, $350 that you would have paid for the entire year, because it's on the spot kind of thing, you know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, same thing with AAA. You're paying for more. If you're further out, you're going to pay for those extra miles that they have to drive.
Right. So how did you get involved in boats? Like, were you by water in Oregon, or is it more just the outdoor kind of thing that?
Out in Oregon, I was out on boats with my family all the time, out in the lakes, and so I've always been out on boats or jet skis. And so, of course, when you come down here to Florida, it's one of the boating centrals of the world. Yeah. So, or I guess the United States, that is. But so when I came out here, it was almost natural for me, and I found it very naturally. I was looking for a job when I came back here from California, actually. Okay. And
which part of California?
I was living out in Fallbrook, by San Diego kind of area. Oh. Yeah, it's about an hour or two from San Diego. Yeah, it took my money.
La Jolla?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Oh
yeah, no, La Jolla is beautiful.
Del Mar, all that. It's just
Fallbrook's tucked up in the mountains of Del Mar and La Jolla, so it's kind of tucked way up there. It's a really small town. I loved it there. Don't get me wrong, but
so how did you end up there?
That was a ex at the time kind of thing, and but we wanted to do a cross country trip, and I love traveling. I just really love traveling, and so. But anyways, back to the Oregon. Sorry. There's lakes out there though, and so I just was always around it. And then my father, he's a helicopter mechanic, and so that brought me even more into like wanting to know how boats work, how how everything works on a boat, how to drive a boat, you know, how to take care of, maintain a boat and everything like that. And so I guess I don't know, the water drew me.
How old were you when you were kind of doing that kind of stuff with your dad, where you're like, because I'm sure if you owned a boat, you had to fix the boat. So.
Oh, and we had quads, dirt bikes, everything like that too, jet skis. So I started riding when I was about 5 years old. And so I guess probably when I moved to Oregon, which was about 7 or 8 years old, is when I was hanging out in the garage and just watching them work on all of our vehicles, our like dirt bikes. And we had a boat at the time when we didn't have the dirt bikes and stuff, because we kind of went from that to water instead, you know?
Yeah.
So then I learned boating a little bit. So
now, did your dad make the dirt bikes fly and the boat fly?
I wish. I would be studying how he could do that.
Helicopter mechanic. Was he in the Air Force, Army, or
Army?
Okay.
Yeah, took care of the Hellcats, or the Hoovies, and he's a health first though mechanic now. So the life flight mechanics.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Okay, you might know.
So he's right there.
Yeah, at the hospital. Yep.
Yeah, you might know the Nunzi.
Yes.
Yeah, those guys.
Yeah, he's the head helicopter mechanic for First Flight.
Yeah, no. So we had a guy on here who has a pizza oven, pizza truck.
Okay.
And he also does. He's the first nurse off the chopper when it goes places.
Yeah, okay. Guy over there, all of a sudden.
Yeah, one of the rotating nurses.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. All right.
Wow.
Small world.
Yeah, small world.
Oh,
that's for sure.
We had I'll do a 20-second small world story. When I was 13, I went to London.
Okay.
I'm in the McDonald's by Windsor Palace. And this girl taps me on the shoulder. It's a girl from my class.
What?
We didn't go there together. She's just, what are you doing here? I'm like, what are you doing here? Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's my small world story. Sorry.
That's in London though. In the McDonald's.
Right.
Hey,
Well, I mean, that big surprise. If you've been to England, the food's terrible. Anyway, we're getting a little off topic. So, what kind of toys do you have now? Other than, a boat whenever you want it, because when you're
and use of the carpenter stuff.
And the carpenter stuff,
okay.
Yeah. I've been going out with the carpenters, Jeff Carpenter and Lauren Carpenter. They let me ride their Raptor 700, and then they have a good friend Mike too that has a Banshee, and I got to ride that just this past weekend on Saturday. And
Screamer.
Oh, it was a screamer, that's for sure. And then Pete, they're good. Jeff's good buddy too. He has a 250 dirt bike and doesn't have a back brake, but he let me ride it, and I had a good time on it.
Yeah, I know. I've been invited so many times by. Actually, I haven't. Anyway, all right. So, maybe
I offered you a Harley ride to the other bar the other day. You
I mean, yeah, I guess. Love you, Lauren. Thanks, Jeff. Great. Yeah. Anyway, if you're seeing this, maybe, give me a call. I'm not much of a daredevil, I'll be honest with you.
But right now, I don't have any bikes of my own. I used to have a YZ 125 two-stroke, but I got rid of it when I went on my adventure to California.
Okay.
So, been here since last February. So I've been kind of just rebuilding, getting my establishments again, because I kind of consolidated things, got rid of things, sold things. So, just reestablishing, I guess you could say.
We went from a bigger house to a smaller house when we got here. We consolidated.
It's a lot of consolidating.
You don't have a place to.
New shit,
coming from Missouri, coming from Minnesota, it's a lot.
Oh, and you look at. My neighbor the other day was saying he has a storage unit.
Yeah.
And he has his Christmas stuff in the storage unit. I'm like, for what you're paying for the storage unit, you can just buy new Christmas stuff every year.
Right?
He's like, I know. I can't convince my wife of that. I'm like, okay, well.
She won't get rid of the precious
like,
gift. Well, there's certain ornaments and certain decorations that...
all new stuff every year.
But what if you can't get that next year, Steve?
Just get a hologram. Project Christmas on a wall.
Right, exactly. I mean... We'll help them. Anyway, so we know you from Ichabod's.
Yes.
We know a lot of people from Ichabod's.
We've met a lot of people from Ichabod's.
Ichabod's is great.
Links in the description.
The food's good.
You visit Melbourne, go to Ichabod's.
The drinks are strong.
You'll meet us.
The bartenders are nice. I'm the tall guy. Chris is not tall.
I'm the black guy.
I'm short.
Sydney's a little shorter. That's okay.
He's actually Jamaican.
But so, like, when you're not out helping people with the wonderful boating experiences at Freedom Boat Club, what do you like to do? I mean, obviously, you like to do outdoor stuff, right?
Outdoor stuff,
dirt biking
hiking.
stuff,
I like to go venture, like see new islands on the river. So I guess still be out on the water.
Okay.
And I love going to the beach, though, especially now it's getting hotter out.
right?
The water out in the ocean is just so perfect right now. It's not too cold, or it's not really hot, but it's not really cold
Yeah.
anymore like it
It's
was.
like 82 now.
Yeah.
80, 82, which is like perfect.
Yeah. It's pretty nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't mind going to the beach, but definitely like just hanging out with friends, so having good times and hanging out with y'all. That's for sure. I love hanging out
you
with
just
y'all.
said that. You said hanging out with friends, and that was we appreciate. That was an amazing. So we went with Sydney. You had to break in a motor, right?
Break in a motor, yeah.
And so bummer, she had to take a boat out.
Bummer. Too bad.
We met her up in Merritt Island at Market 24, which, like we talked about, a beautiful place. Went up and down the river a little bit. Saw a space launch.
Yeah, rocket launch from SpaceX, and it was an awesome space rocket launch that we saw. It was the people actually going up that paid about $50 million a ticket to go up, but
we had a nice view. I mean, it didn't cost $50 million, but it was,
No, we had a good view from the ground on the river.
Exactly. No one was in our way, so that was good. And we saw the Cape Canaveral,
the cruise ships, the big cruise ships,
which are insanely large. Like, you can't.
Yeah.
I'm still having trouble picturing that humans built that.
And actually, I don't know if you remember when I told you, but that place is owned by one guy, and he has a life deed to the land of Cape Canaveral and that whole port. So once he passes away, the government of Florida is going to take over that port, and it's going to be the biggest cruise port in the United States.
It's already the largest in the world.
Really?
Yeah, no, it's already the biggest.
So they're going to make it bigger, though. They're going to get rid of all those businesses in there and make it, like, insane, like, enough for, I guess, like, 10 or more cruise ships to be in there at once.
That's why the Bright Line, that's part of the reason why they have the Bright Line, so you can land in Orlando and take the train over.
Probably, yeah, I think so. Yeah. And they're going to have a location in Cocoa where the Bright Line drops off, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
There'll be a little shuttle and just boom.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of fun here.
Oh, I can't wait to jump on that thing to Miami for like a Dolphins game. Awesome.
That would be cool.
It came by
like I need a car in Miami.
Did it just recently come by?
It came by yesterday.
Oh, really?
So it zipped by right here.
I haven't been able to see it like up close yet.
It's
go
colorful.
By. Really?
It's all yellow and green. It's really.
Is it really going as fast as they say too? Like
it was
80?
doing like 75.
70?
I mean, they're still kind of testing it. They're not really.
Okay.
They say 90 is going to be operating.
That's what I heard. Yeah, but they're starting slow, right?
Slow. For you, maybe, in your dirt bike experience.
Apparently I was going about 65, 70 down the trail on that Raptor 700 with the Banshee.
I drive an Equinox. Sometimes I get that thing up to 40 miles an hour on the way home. So, I mean.
That's a little risque.
It is. Anything you want to, I mean, Freedom Boat Club we talked about a little bit, and we'll have a link in the description and some pictures and stuff. So, but anything you want to,
I mean, I can't really say much about prices and everything like that. I can say the best. Make sure you sign up in the time of the year that's not the busiest time of the year. A little bit, maybe more in the winter season or the beginning of the year is the best time to sign up. Best deals. Yeah, well,
I mean, and look up if you're not from here or you spend part of the year somewhere else. Look up somewhere
that's close to you.
We say it's close to. They had one up in Minnesota. Up in Freedom Boat Club was up in Minnesota.
Oh, really?
It's up in Lake Minnetonka.
Yeah.
So if you're on the west side of Minneapolis, and you winter down here. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
You get the best of both worlds.
Well, like I was saying, we have 10 locations across this Indian River, the ICW.
Yeah.
And so it's best to research it, look it up, and find that location that's closest to your vacation home or closest to where you're going to vacation to, because that becomes your home club when you're reciprocal out here.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
They put a home club to you.
Yeah. But it's just great. You pay a fee at the beginning of the year. You get to use boats all year.
Yep.
Do they have? Is it you have like 2 reservations at a time? Is that?
So you actually have 4 reservations at a time with my club.
Right.
As soon as you reserve one, it uses up your reservation. But as soon as you use that reservation, you get it right back.
You can make one for the next day.
Yep, one for the next day or same day. So if you wanted to walk up to the dock and you just got off work and you want to go out on a boat, if we have a boat there available for you, we'll send you out.
Nice.
But it's not going to cost anything to your 4 reservations.
Right.
So it's the same day. It doesn't cost you anything. You just have to pay for gas.
Just and that tip for the nice dock
Well,
worker.
you can give us a little tip. We always appreciate it, but
not required, but
not required, but appreciated.
Well, thanks, Sid. Appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Steve.
Thanks for telling about Freedom Boat Club. And again, links in the description. So
thank you for having me. I had a great time.
Awesome. Thanks.
All right.